Yeah, this is not good. This is not good at all. The likelihood of Caitlin Clark being out for a non-insignificant amount of time is high. And by non-insignificant, maybe July 16th. Maybe July 16th. Like, it's not ideal situation at all. So let's take a listen to what Stephanie White has said about this whole thing. About Caitlin Clark coming back.
Sophie is not. Sophie is still home under the weather. Caitlin did an individual workout this morning.
What does that entail for her? Is she with coaches for that? Is she just literally by herself?
No, she's with our player development coaches, with our medical staff, with our sports performance staff, and just working on some basketball skill stuff, movement pattern stuff, as she continues to work her way back to full team activity.
Do you really know about availability for Sunday?
Yeah, no, I think it's still too early.
Do you have a better idea, I guess, on just her status? Like, is she doing better with her back, or do you have more clarity, I guess, just on the injury itself?
Yeah, I mean, I think every day is a little bit better, right? Every day is a little bit better. And again, I reiterate for those who haven't had back issues, every day can be something different. You can feel really good in practices or workouts or warm-ups or whatever, and then you go to bed at night and you wake up and it's different. Or, if you sit at home and you're watching something on television, if you're watching the game or whatever else, you can wake up and it's different. I mean, it's the back is a nagging thing that manifests itself in different ways.
So that like she's not actually injured, she doesn't have a back injury, and the strategic management that she's not actually injured, that they fired Scott Agnes for. She definitely has a back injury. She definitely has an injured back, and like this does not sound good. This doesn't sound like, oh, this is an isolated injury. This sounds like she's got a bad back. And like, they're like, oh yeah, some days you're good, some days you're bad. Dude, if she's a bad back at 24, like, it's rough. That is rough. Like, the fact is that Caitlin, if she's going through individual workouts with the medical staff, with the performance team, she's probably not. Like, everyone's like, she's out for the season. She would not be doing that, on the 1st of July. But let's not forget, like, it was the 5th, it was on the 13th of July last year, she got injured and was out for the season. So, based on the responses from Stephanie White, it does sound similar to her being out from the season last year. Do I think she'll be out for the season? No. Do I think she will be absolutely back, barring another injury or another setback, that she will be out for the, or she'll be back for the Valkyries game? Almost certainly. Like, again, there's a big difference just how she played against Connecticut when she went down injured last year versus how she played against Phoenix. Like, she was on for 30 and 15. Personally, Caitlin's going to be fine. They're using this back the excuse to keep her isolated away from the media. Firestorm is raging. Good for them if that's true. Look, if this is true, you know what? Fair play. Fair play. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, I don't believe this is the case. But you would hope the Fever are trying to keep her away from the media storm. And if I'm the Indiana Fever, I am absolutely being very, very specific with who gets to ask Caitlin Clark the first question. I'll talk about that in a video later. I've said I probably one missed practice away from not seeing Caitlin Clark till mid-July. If this is true, that, her back's a little bit at her, but she's good enough to practice, like, I'm going to be real. They're not putting in anything at these practices that is going to change how this team plays. This is a bad defensive team, and they need to... It's now about going from being historically awful to just bad. Like, or putting in systems that are like, how on an individual game basis can we figure out how to play? But this keeps me being forced to apologize for having done nothing wrong, taking my eyes closed. Like, I'm going to be honest, it's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. And then you also have to take into account that if you're the Indiana Fever, there's one thing that, as Steph White says, the blessing in disguise. The blessing in disguise that is Caitlin Clark not being there, according to Stephanie White. And we also have to take into account that If they go and let's just say they beat the Aces. Let's say Aja plays and they beat the Aces on Sunday. Aja plays. And then let's just say she misses the 4-game away stand. Because look, if she misses game 1 and she's injured, she's not playing game 2. Let's say because they're playing the Mercury, they're playing the Sparks who stink, and they're playing the Aces twice. Let's just say they split the Aces and they win the other 2 games, which you would expect the Indiana Fever to do that. With Caitlin Clark, you would expect them to go worst 2-2. They're not going 4-0, but 3-1. If they come out 3-1 with Ty Harris starting point guard, and Caitlin has been injured, you really look into trading Caitlin. Like, you really look into trading Caitlin then. Like, that is one of those things where, unfortunately, like, you kind of just, it's something that is just what happens. It's what happens in basketball. If your team goes on a run without a star player, and that star player has been in and out of a team with injury, you look at moving on. It's basketball. It's not a Caitlin Clark issue, but it's always happened. It's always happened since the beginning of basketball. That teams will go out of their way to maybe move on from a player that, not that they think they're better without, but like that they feel like the assets they get for her is more beneficial to the team than her coming back. Like, anytime it's happened where there's been a star player who's missed a whole bunch of time and the team is playing extremely well when the star is not there, and the star comes back, unless that team ends up going and winning a damn title or competing for a title immediately and look noticeably better, the star that was out injured and comes back is probably going to be getting traded. So that also has to be taken into account here, is that if she misses 4 games and this team goes 3-1 and Ty Harris looks really good, then all conventional knowledge of basketball, you would think that they're at least taking calls for her, especially with all the other nonsense going on, and a practice today even being disrupted by Stephanie White having to, denounce social media trolls. But look, it is what it is. All of this. I wish none of this was happening. I wish Caitlin Clark was just playing, but yeah, it becomes a completely different scenario. So hopefully what the CC report page said is real, that, oh no, she's actually fine. They're just sitting her out because they don't want her to have to deal with the media circus. I'm going to be real. They don't have to get her to speak up, but to be fair, like, even last year she was working out with the team, she was doing the individual stuff, she was there with the team. The fact she's away from the team entirely and still working out and stuff means there's something more than the back injury. Like, even when she was doing her individual workout, she was still seen at team practice getting shots up. The fact she's away from team entirely means something more is up. But anyway, I'll see you guys.